So it's like 3:47 a.m. and I woke up and I couldn't go back to sleep, and I just have to make this video. And this video is going to come more probably from an emotional state than a rational one. So let's just hope I can make it in the 10-minute mark. It's going to be personal. I don't live in an environment so much that exudes love and affection to where the people around me believe in each other's capabilities and believe in each other's dreams and abilities to go out into the world and make positive change. I live in an environment that people are so convinced by their own point of view that they just fail to see where it's coming from, where it's stemming from. Now, let me explain exactly what I mean. So my situation is, I'm 25, about to be 26 years old. I live with my grandparents. I only have a part-time job, and I spend hours every day just trying to synthesize information, learn new things about various subjects, to find a way to make a living, to be an entrepreneur, to be an explorer of the world. And one of the main things that I focus on talking about and thinking about and writing about is reality, in the sense how each of us interprets it and how we view it collectively. And the reason I think this is so important is that people's reality is based on what they're taught. And so my grandmother is this highly conservative, highly strict Christian who sees the world as poison, sees the world as this thing that she has to rub off and clean off of herself. I listen to her when she talks on the phone with her friends. I listen to her when she speaks to me, and there is always a negative connotation that no matter what you do, you could never be good enough for anything or anybody. There's no love and affection in the way that she expresses herself. And so the way she sees it is, you can never work hard enough. That if you want to put yourself through school, if you want to put yourself through life, the only way to do that is by working 2 jobs, slaving over it, and spending the least amount of money as possible. Only shopping at very specific locations, paying the least amount of money. Now, don't base my opinion of her being negative solely on these things that I just listed. That's certainly not enough information. The only way you can truly understand is if you interact with her. And it's the same with my grandfather. He's very cut off. He hates people, and everything is negative. If I'm in the kitchen, he can't go into the kitchen. He has like a frustration just by being in the same place as me. Now, certainly I could be this horrible person that makes people not want to be around me. In my experience, that's not the case. I've just found myself to be very relatable, very understanding, very empathic, intuitive. That's one of those new sort of classifications that I learned coming out that I think I'm a part of. My mother is a manic depressive 55-year-old woman who abused substance, narcotics and alcohol and gambling, and addicted to shopping, just had an addictive personality for like 25 years, and has now anemia. She has all these health problems, but she now is trying to push it on me, trying to say that I'm manic depressive and push all her emotional and health things onto me, and she hadn't even been around my life most of it. I didn't speak to her except a couple times when I was 7 until I was 15, and that's when I started developing an email relationship with her. We don't call each other on the phone. We just hardly talk. We email each other, and that's how it goes. And so she sees the foundation of struggle as that, as me having manic depression, when she has no idea the actual brain science that's coming out saying that your environment, the things that your relationships, the substances you put in yourself, and so forth, determine your emotional, your physical, your neurological outcome. For the most part, genes are only activated by the environment. Not only, that's probably a bad word, but mainly. Like 90-95%. So the reason I focus on reality so much is that people have this totally mistaken judgment. I mean, if you've never learned the way a sunflower blooms, the pattern that it creates, the cycles, if you don't understand the cycles of nature, the cycles of life, and the way that we do things and how we're going to get things done for the future, then you're hindering it. If you don't understand it and you have such a strong opinion about the world, the only thing you're doing is hindering it and making it worse, as far as I'm concerned. So I don't live in this environment that's caring, that says, you know what, Stephen, go for your dreams. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you go through school. I'm going to help you go through life, because I understand nothing is independent. Nothing in this house, nothing I'm looking at that was ever made is made by one person. So many people, so many different lives have been contributing to all of these things. This webcam that I'm looking at, this microphone, this keyboard, so much has been contributed by other people that we fail to realize that. We fail to realize that everything is connected, and that there's no such thing as emptiness. There's no such thing as empty space. I mean, let's not even talk about how much of our history has been miscalculated, and it's even in physics. Even if you break down the academia in physics, people just make rules and they shove them together and they make them fit. Even when they don't fit and they are not congruent, they still make them fit in order to stimulate a status quo. And the only time that we've ever had progression is when people break the rules and they break through that. And I don't even know. I mean, it's the thing that I'm just saying right now is how much our conditioning and our conditioned perspective hinders the growth of the world. And maybe that's the main focus of this. And you know what though? Let me also play devil's advocate by telling you guys and telling myself that I don't work hard enough. Fine, I only have a part-time job. I don't dedicate enough to the specific things that are going to help me lift myself out of it. For example, writing a book, doing the research it takes to converge this perspective and synthesize and put out the specific things that I see contribute to a change in the way we view reality, the way we view ourselves, the way we view the world. And one of the things that really sticks out in my mind that Aman, aka, said is, if you don't have the hardware that can meet the new software needs, he said it differently. I know I'm gonna butcher it right now, but if you don't have the new hardware that can accommodate the new software, then you can't expect to run version 2.0. And think about the movie The Matrix. I mean, my God, our perspective depends so much on the way nature is acting on us, the way the sun is hitting us and helping us along with our social interactions and stimulating the neural activity and the things that we expose ourselves to and the kinds of information that we expose ourselves helps create the alchemical perception that we have. I mean, this is so fascinating, but it's something that we fail to look at. We fail to look at. So when we look for information, we look for information that abides by the bitter and cold and cut off perspective that we each have. I'm not saying all of us, I'm just saying those of us that share this opinion. And the rant is pretty much over, so I just wonder if you guys can relate. I know I'm only going to get like 3 to 6 views on this, so that's cool, but I just had to put this out. So I hope you guys have a good day.